Cadmium exposure is a silent threat in industrial settings. This video explores the biological mechanisms behind cadmium toxicity, examining how it affects cells and why occupational defense is so critical. Cadmium exposure occurs through various channels, including smelting and battery manufacturing. Environmentally, tobacco plants and contaminated soil are major vectors. Because cadmium has a biological half-life of 15 to 30 years and cannot be excreted, it accumulates permanently in target tissues. At the cellular level, cadmium acts as a powerful toxin. It triggers an explosion of reactive oxygen species, or ROS, while simultaneously depleting the cell's antioxidant defenses. This dual-strike mechanism unleashes pro-inflammatory signals, leading to systemic tissue injury. The toxicity extends to mitochondria, causing energy collapse. Cadmium disrupts ATP production by binding to respiratory enzymes, compromises the mitochondrial wall, and stalls the natural cycle of the organelle, which directly triggers programmed cell death. The male reproductive system is a specific target for cadmium intrusion. By attacking Leydig and Sertoli cells, it inhibits key enzymes and breaks down the blood-testis barrier, resulting in a dramatic drop in testosterone production and impaired spermatogenesis. Cadmium also damages the bone-kidney axis. Renal dysfunction prevents the reabsorption of calcium and phosphorus, while direct toxicity to bones suppresses cell differentiation, leading to accelerated osteoporosis and severe skeletal fragility. In postmenopausal women, cadmium exposure significantly increases the risk of osteoporosis. Whether the exposure level is low or high, the research indicates that cadmium environmental exposure can practically double the risk of bone loss. Given that cadmium causes permanent, cascading cellular damage and remains in the body for decades, clinical reversal is virtually impossible. Therefore, environmental mitigation and strict occupational compliance are our only viable defenses. OSHA defines strict regulatory baselines. The action level is 2.5 micrograms per cubic meter. The permissible exposure limit is 5. For special exceptions in industries like battery production, higher engineering control air limits are set, but these require mandatory respiratory bridging. Atmospheric monitoring follows a specific protocol, triggering sampling, periodic testing if exposure meets the action level, and resolution through consistent results. Employers may only bypass these steps with objective data proving the process cannot reach the action level. Environmental isolation and hygiene are essential. Protocols include separating street clothes from work clothes, mandatory showering after shifts, securing contaminated gear, and enforcing zero tolerance for eating or smoking in regulated areas. Respiratory protection is escalated based on exposure levels, from basic air-purifying respirators at lower levels to full self-contained breathing apparatus for high or unknown concentrations. Selecting the correct equipment is vital for safety. Medical surveillance acts as a biological dashboard. Measuring cadmium in urine, blood, and beta-2 microglobulin is critical. Reaching any trigger limit mandates a full workplace reassessment and a comprehensive medical examination within 90 days. The algorithmic criteria determine if mandatory medical removal is necessary. If an employee exceeds safety thresholds, they must be moved to a role below the action level and provided with medical removal protection benefits for up to 18 months. Finally, strict documentation retention is key to compliance. Records must be kept for years, with medical files maintained for the duration of employment plus 30 years. Facilities are encouraged to use voluntary protection programs to ensure continuous improvement.